I prefer not to deal with labels, but with substance. And I ask both former prime ministers to ask a simple question: what kind of state will it be that they're advocating? A state that calls for Israel's destruction? A state whose territory will be used immediately for radical Islam? Israel retreated already from Gaza, took out all the settlements there, gave the territory to the Palestinian Authority, and this became a terrorist state of Hamas backed by Iran. They fired thousands and thousands of missiles against us. So clearly when people say they're for a Palestinian state, they're not for that kind of state. What kind of state would they be talking about? Well, first of all, it'll have to recognize the Jewish state. It's not conceivable that people will say the Palestinians should have a state and continue to call for the annihilation of the Jewish state, Israel. So obviously asking the Palestinians to recognize a Jewish state is mandatory, and people must do that. Secondly, we know that in the realities of the Middle East, if Israel is not there to ensure security, then that state very quickly will become another bastion of radical Islam. So this is what I've been talking about, and I've been talking about it for 8 years. I said we have to make sure that the Palestinians recognize the Jewish state, and we have to ensure that Israel has the overriding security control of all the territories, Other than that, I want the Palestinians to be able to govern themselves and to have all the freedoms to do so, but not the freedom to destroy the Jewish state. They have to recognize Israel, and Israel has to have the residual military control. That's my view. It hasn't changed.
Our position is exactly the same as it always has been for many years. We support an outcome which has two states, where Israelis, the Israeli people, the Palestinian people live side by side as a result of direct negotiations between them, and that is the fundamental point, and live together in peace and the security that they're entitled to expect. And you can't expect, being blunt and realistic about this, you cannot expect any Israeli government to put itself in a position where security is at risk, where its citizens are not safe. The first duty of every government is the safety of the people. That's my first job as Prime Minister of Australia. It's Bibi's first job as Prime Minister of Israel. So that's our position, has been the same for many, many years, and the key is direct negotiations between the parties. And I would add, Bibi, if I may, that I agree with you in that the circumstances of the times, and in your area, your region, which you clearly have a keener insight into than we do here in Australia, do appear to create the opportunity where perhaps the moons are aligning such that this could be a good time to come back to the table, for the parties to come back to the table and reach an agreement. But, of course, as with any agreement, it needs to tango.